Merry Christmas, everyone. We are working again with our December Drink Art girl, Tracy, and we are going to do a special Christmas drink. Everyone does what for Christmas?
Eggnog.
Eggnog, right. So I don't want to do eggnog. We are going to do instead a cousin of eggnog that's almost been forgotten in the family tree of nogs, and it's called Syllabub.
Family tree of nogs?
Yeah, you didn't know nogs had a
no,
family tree.
I did know that.
Yeah, they did.
You learn something new every day.
Yeah, so Syllabub's kind of over to the side. Actually, it was originally made with wine, which is where it gets its name from the French silly, which means wine, actually, and then bub, which means bubbly.
Bub.
You can believe that. So it was wine, it was sweetened, had usually some cream and some eggs in it, that kind of thing. But we're going to do our version of the Syllabub that I call Anthony's Syllabub. And we're going to start, as usual, shaker tin full of ice. Now, interesting bit of trivia about Syllabubs. Syllabubs were originally made, the way you made it was you put a little bit of wine in a glass or a mug or whatever you happen to have back on the farm, and you would go and get the milk right from the cow. They call it cow warm milk. You'd actually squeeze the milk into the wine. And when you do that with warm milk, a process happens called clabbering, and it actually creates bubbles. And that's where it got its bubbles from. We're not going to do that because
Clabbering, is that like the sister version of curdling?
Yeah, I think it's related if you look it up.
I think it might be.
The chemistry family tree. All right. Not having a cow and not really wanting to squeeze milk directly into the drink, we're going to get our bubbles somewhere else.
That was a new twist, though.
Yeah. We're going to go ahead and use cider in our Syllabub, all right, which you'll find in southern Syllabubs. That's fairly common. So I'm going to start with 4 ounces of cider. And then I'm going to put an ounce of Applejack because I find that the Applejack flavor works really well, keeping again with that whole apple theme. And I'm going to put in 4 ounces of cream, 4 ounces of heavy cream, and 2 ounces, instead of using raw eggs, which again was traditional, we're going to put in 2 ounces of pasteurized egg beater type products.
You could use real eggs.
You could use real eggs, yeah, but I wouldn't really recommend it, even though the odds of getting salmonella from an egg is supposed to be really, really small. You know, if you have a weak immune system, small kids, whatever, go get egg beaters. They're pasteurized. They're safe. Use that.
Okay. A lot easier to pour it.
Right. Exactly. So now, on top of that, I'm going to have 1 orange. I'm going to take the juice of 1 orange and put that in there. And the citric acid in the orange is going to react with the cream and give us a little bit of that curling effect that we talked about.
This is the Anthony's version of squeezing an orange.
Yeah, that's how we do it at Art of the Drink. All right. Now we got to sweeten it up a little bit. So I'm going to put in 2 tablespoons of sugar. And then my own secret ingredient. You'll find rosemary, believe it or not, in some Syllabub recipes. What I'm using today is lavender, which is a relative of the rosemary, has a little bit more delicate flavor, and I like it a little better. And I'm just going to fold that in half and dump that right in there. All right, and we're going to put just about a 1/4 teaspoon of vanilla extract in, just a dash, and I'm going to grate some fresh lemon zest. So what I'm going to do is put the grater right over it, and this way when I grate it, not only the zest, but the oils are also going to go in there, and that's where really most of the flavor comes from. So I'm just going to go around once, grate that lemon in there. All right, and now I'm going to shake it up real good. Most Syllabubs are usually made in big batches. So what you would normally do if you were making a big batch is you would beat the cream beforehand to kind of thicken it up. We're not going to do that. And instead, I'm going to go ahead and shake it in the tin, and that's going to help thicken the cream up a little bit. But I got to be careful because there's cider in there, and cider's carbonated. So make sure you hold this by the top and the bottom, all right, so that it doesn't explode. And I don't want to shake it too vigorously. There's not that much cider in there, so you should be okay. All righty. Nice festive holiday glass. And I'm going to strain this right in.
It smells good.
Tastes even better. And to top it off, my trusty grater again. A little bit of fresh nutmeg, just a couple of grates right over the top. And I'm going to garnish this with another sprig of fresh lavender. And that is Anthony Syllabub.